You're a brave one to be alive, and I'm here to testify. There ain't nobody quite like you to rise above the world the way you do. So kiss me now, won't you kiss me now? We ain't got time till the fire burns out. You're down, the care's too much for all the world and how you lift them up. I can't get higher, 'cause I'm off the ground. So hold me close, my love, and kiss me now. Kiss me now, won't you kiss me now? We ain't got time till the fire goes out. Kiss me long, kiss me close, 'cause I love you so, my dear, you'll never know. Seen 1,000 sunsets by the ocean, walked a million miles holding hands. And if I had a prayer that I could pray to, I'd sing it out and fly to you again. Kiss me now, won't you kiss me now? We ain't got time till the fire goes out. Kiss me long, kiss me so close, 'cause I love you so, my dear, you'll never know. You're a brave one to be alive, and I'm here to testify. There ain't nobody quite like you to rise above the world the way you do. So kiss me now, won't you kiss me now? We ain't got time till the fire goes out. Kiss me long, kiss me so close, 'cause I love you so, my dear, and you'll never know. Kiss me now, won't you kiss me now? We ain't got time till the fire goes out. Kiss me now, won't you kiss me now? We ain't got time till the fire burns out.
Good morning, South Florida.
And welcome to the Brooklyn Cafe Morning Show.
Grab your coffee as we grow up the talk of the day.
From the latest scoop around town,
To feel-good stories and messages of hope.
a few jokes and live calling,
Highlighting local businesses.
discussing hot trends and news stories.
A dash of feel-good nostalgia.
I love those morning cartoons.
Keeping up with upcoming events.
Sometimes trying and delicious foods.
Weekly horoscope updates.
An occasional flying duck.
Some sparkle dust.
Don't forget my bell.
And my wand.
With our brew crew laughing on set.
So grab your coffee, your bagel, donut, or any breakfast as we get you up and ready for the rest of your day.
And don't leave us hanging. Give us a follow. Comment live or call right into the show at 888-994-4995 Studio B.
Whether it's a tip of the day or just to say good morning, we'd love to hear from you.
From Amp Media Production Studio, it's
The Brooklyn Cafe Morning Show.
Oh, where's the snooze button?
Freddie, it's time to get up. We got a show to do. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Hang tight, guys. Pressing the snooze one more time.
And it's time to do a show.
Morning time, snooze button.
Welcome, welcome, welcome
Morning, morning, morning. Good to have you back.
to the morning show.
Good to be back. Wow, what a week.
What a week.
What a week. All I can say is it's good to be
I
back.
saw you a little bit last week. I saw you at this thing.
But we haven't seen all of our friends in a week
Yeah,
in the
I
morning
know.
show.
I know.
So, welcome back.
Good. How's everybody feeling?
Welcome back to the morning show. Happy Monday morning.
Happy, happy, happy.
All I can say is whatever went through the studio went through like a train, and hopefully it left the station and will stay away.
It's an interesting dilemma because not all of it has. Some people are really, really just sick. Shorty was just sick.
You had some sort of flu
Flu, allergies, a mixture of stuff.
stuff, but I'm glad they're back.
Yes, and we move on and upwards. Okay, so the event on Thursday was interesting. A lot of people showed up.
It was great. The Expressions of Life event at Sunscape. I think a lot of them are going to be here today because Sally invited everyone for her show today.
Oh, that's right. Sunscape is supposed to be here, right? They're supposed to catch a show.
You're going to come watch Sally's show. But it was a great event. There were, how many hundred? A couple hundred people, I think, there.
You think?
I don't know.
Maybe 100.
Maybe.
The place is so big.
The artists were great. I even got to, no matter where I go, I buy something. I even learned how to work Zelle. No glasses, and the artist only took Zelle, so I figured it out. I Zelled her, and I bought a painting.
Very nice. You
But-
took it home?
I took it home. I was going to save it. It was for my sister and give it to her for Hanukkah, but then I saw my sister Friday night, so I gave it to her
Already?
already.
Now you have to get around.
I got her something. Because Hanukkah's not until December, and it's only August, so then I thought, well, then I got to get something for her wife, and what if it's not? And so I'm like, here's an extra gift.
I saw Jay Harmon that night, and I talked about the piece that he made for you.
Beautiful, right?
Very nice.
Jay Harmon is spectacular. So many of these artists we know, and then I actually saw them set up their table. Lori Arbel also. What a great variety of work that she has. She's got cards and books and so many prints and the big pieces. So she was there. This guy, Norman Gillison, was amazing. These sculptures, we have to call him. He
I
takes
left the message.
horseshoes and he repurposes, you saw them, and he repurposed them into hearts and different things, and then he's got sculptures. Oh my gosh, Josh. He's got a
Size of this table.
10-foot mermaid.
Oh, yeah.
He does things, horses that are the size like 6 feet on a door. Unbelievable, the talent that he's got.
Did you like it?
I loved it. Did you see his spider box?
Yes.
Yeah, I didn't know that there's
No.
a big spider on it, so when I opened it, I literally jumped back 5 feet. It was terrifying.
I did not even see the spider box.
It was a little prank that he did. Like, he gives you this box and say, oh, you have to look inside. I have this nice gemstone.
Oh.
And I was like, oh, that's great. So I opened it, and a fake spider flew out. And I got so scared.
I saw somebody open that. I didn't do it because I would have ran for the hills, but I saw somebody open that and she ran. It was so funny.
The productions went great, though. People kept saying, what's in that room? And I told them, oh, wow. And they said to me, congratulations, because Giroldi's is now 6 stations. So people that we've known for 7 years
We messed up.
watch the
We
expansion.
messed up. We didn't highlight the room.
I know. We did not do anything for the room.
Nobody knew what was going on in that room except that there was a lot of
Good
people,
morning.
a lot of lights. What's up, Amazon?
Kennedy's in the house, but it was a really nice event. They were thrilled. They can't wait to do it again next year. The artists were great, and our crew on point.
I gotta
have
tell
to
you,
say.
no, that was the first time you've been on the road with us, right?
Yeah.
Lots to do.
Yeah, it
I
was,
kept moving them around.
it was very hectic.
It was.
Yeah, I enjoyed it, though. I had a lot of fun.
They helped all the artists set up. They actually ran a table with Hot Wheels, and a couple of the girls sat over by. Even Arizona was there running tables. You have fun?
Amazon, you're close. Arizona went back to Arizona.
It's for the name.
She was with us on Monday. Then I think she got sick on Tuesday. I don't even know. I'm just glad the week is over and we're moving forward into a new week.
What you like about Thursday night?
Just, well, as far as like helping, kind of like setting up the tables and coming up with our own ideas, how to make brighten up the place. Just socializing with people, getting to know other people.
That's what I liked about the whole socializing. It's funny because I kept walking up and down, moving people around, and the brain attainer was there.
Judy Herman.
Judy, she says, "My God, you know everybody here." I says, "Yeah, pretty much."
Yeah, and I've lived in this community a long time, so friends of mine who our kids grew up since kindergarten, and now I'm watching their moms and dads are now moving into Sunscape because that's the new beautiful facility for them to live in. So it's interesting how times change and things change, but I don't think we age. Because you've actually known my girlfriend because she worked with Freddie. She hasn't aged. She looks exactly the same.
She knows me. I don't know.
Oh, you don't know who she is?
No.
Really? No, she knows you. But it was a great event, Sunscape Boca Raton. I think they should be opening September 1st, my understanding.
Hopefully, fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. So that was a lot of fun.
That wasn't the grand opening because Bernie went to the grand opening.
You are hilarious, by the way, the way you call people out. And then Friday, I got to go to Bling and Bubbly, that it was called, the ladies' event that was at Lenore's place that Bonnie Posh
How
put
was
together. It was packed. I walked in, I got there like 6:40, so she had arranged for parking. So I'm driving around looking for parking, and there's no parking anywhere there because everything is like reserved.
There's no parking down there on a
zone.
good day.
There is, but everything's like towaway zone and less. So I didn't want my car to be towed. So I go to where she arranged for the parking, and I'm like, no, I'm not walking this far at night. It was so hot Friday night. So I ended up finding a spot by the Angels. The Angels always open a spot for me. It was packed, I have to tell you. I got a bag of things. Chuck says to me, you went shopping? I'm like, no, people gave me all of these things. Then I went shopping. But there was a beautiful fashion show by Sandro, and Grace was one of the models. I didn't even recognize her. She had a short little bob wig on.
Amazing Grace.
Amazing Grace. She comes, she gives me a hug and a kiss. I'm like, who is this lady? And a lot of people that she had brought into our studio were there. So everybody knew me. Dawn, oh my gosh, the Brooklyn Cafe, they thanked us. Pictures everywhere. Dress for Success, they're doing a pop-up event in September at the studio, which is in Palm Springs. Is that near you? So that's where their location is. And then they've got a big gala in March, so we're going to see how we can work with them. The Singles Dating Lady, executive matchmaking, she wants to do something. There's a new hair salon, makeup artist. Everyone was like, oh my gosh. Someone else gave me zinc lozenges from Life Extension. They had jewelry, they had weight loss, they had so much going on there. It was packed.
Have fun?
And then I went shopping at Sonder next door because they had the fashion show. So, you know, if you have a fashion show and then you get a coupon, then you got to go shopping.
Were there any Ritz crackers in the house?
She had all these tapas. She was making, now tapas to me is like a plate with a Ritz cracker and like something to eat, right? No, Lenore had these beautiful plates of food that people were ordering. So my sister went with me, and then that's when I gave her gift. She met me there. She's like, your life is just so different than mine. Because every picture with sister, you need to get in the picture. So there's a lot of pictures of us.
Your sister likes to take pictures?
No.
I didn't think so.
No, it's just a different world. Woo woo!
And it's the alien.
And she's back. Zari's in the house.
What was I gonna?
Ground zero.
What
Patient zero is in the house.
what was I gonna tell you? So the next event, because now we are on the calendar. There's a lot of other things that are coming up. So October 19th, we're going to have J.C. Dreesen Part 2.
At Movies of Del Rey.
Movies of Del Rey.
Nice.
We're going to do Hollywood to
Broadway.
Broadway Part 2. Now I'm trying to throw something in before that. So keep that on ice for a minute. Because I would like to do something and then have J.C. come back in November. That's what I would like to do. But we'll see. We have meetings today. We'll see how that works out.
And then I had people yesterday. I was very busy this weekend. No wonder I was so tired. I went to Lynn's memorial service that was hosted at some of their friends' house. And people were like, oh my gosh, I missed the Gypsy Kings concert. I really wish I was able to go. And I said, I'm sure there's something else coming up again soon. Isn't it
September
Labor Day
3rd.
weekend?
September 3rd, Gypsy Kings are going to be at Gulf
Stream.
Stream. And today I would like to put out the promotions first so you can get your tickets and everything else. I didn't get a chance to meet with him last week, but he has been on the phone with me. And it looks like that's a go for September 3rd.
So people were talking about that. I had Lynn's memorial service yesterday. Oh my gosh, this man was loved, is all I can tell you. To live a life of not feeling loved, and I don't even know how to get this message out. When you live your life and you feel unloved and all you want from life is to be loved, to realize that you're loved when you pass is sad. because you would only hope that you could feel the amount of love that people had while you were on this earth, to see the difference that he made for so many people while he was here, and not just wait to hear it on his memorial service. But this man, he changed lives. He coached, and he was so truly loved and was so will be missed. But he never knew until his last breath, when people, the amount of people that went down to Jackson to visit him in ICU and loved him. And he did not know till that moment that he was loved.
You remember that time that we celebrated my,
Celebration of life?
while I was still alive?
Yep.
And I did
That's
that 'cause I
really the
wanted
way
to
to do
see
it.
I really wanted to see it, because when you die and everybody does a celebration of life, you don't see it, right? I didn't know how many people were going to get mad at me, including my son. But there are people still in Miami who came up and they don't talk to me anymore.
But so sad to have impacted so
Yes.
many lives and not realize it until you pass. To live a life feeling unloved, but yet he was so loved.
He was. He will be missed.
So I certainly
Sorry.
hope the message goes out that everyone appreciates everybody. And all I could think was Kenny Love yesterday about love. Friends of ours that we haven't seen in so long, Janine Davis was there, and Sally was there, and Steve was there, and someone was kind enough to host it in their home. People that have been in the studio, everyone knew the studio. There was one gentleman I got to reach out to. He wrote a book for Lynn, and Lynn apparently said to him, "You're really not much of an author, but you are an incredible speaker." And let me tell you, he must have spoken for 20 minutes. And when you've got the gift to be a public speaker, I got to find him. His name is Ricky Powers. I'm going to look him up. But an amazing speaker. A lot of nice words. And then, did you see all the Hall of Famers? The Basketball Hall of Fame? I put the Dwayne Wade speech in the chat yesterday.
I didn't even know there was a basketball Hall of Fame.
I didn't know either.
Football.
I saw Dwayne Wade's thing.
I saw the football thing. Oh, it was this weekend? The basketball Hall
I
of
think
Fame?
it was Saturday night.
Really? Did you know?
I didn't know anything.
Who got in?
I
Besides
didn't know
Wade?
anything about it. I just saw Dwayne Wade give a speech about his dad, and that was about it.
Dwayne Wade gave an incredible speech. I put the whole speech in the chat. One of the coaches, I don't know any sports, so I don't want to even sound like ridiculous, but you can
sure
look
it was
all
the
the
NBA?
names.
I'll look it up.
Yes, 100% it was. And Dwayne Wade, he thanked Allen Iverson for always being a role model and what he did. And again, it made me think about Lynn. When people, at least he was alive when he was thanking him, you don't realize the role model you can be to somebody else and what that's like to, must be like to hear it on the receiving end. And I always think of you when you say, all I want is a cup of coffee when you're on the red carpet, when you're on the Grammys. And that's what Dwayne did with Allen
Is it?
Iverson yesterday.
Is that Hall of Fame or was it something special?
I think it was the class.
the Hall of Fame on
Hall
Saturday
of Fame,
night.
Class of 2023, because these are people that would be in it.
Yeah.
Dirk Nowitzki, Paul Gasol, Tony Parker, Dwayne Wade, and Greg Popovich for whatever reason.
He's a coach.
He's still coaching right now, but
Yeah, but he's inducted into the Hall. That's like Bill Parcells. I
Yeah,
got to
but
tell you, I know all those players.
yeah, I thought you get inducted 5 years after. I know that's for football, but I don't know for basketball.
Not in the coach's side.
Oh, okay.
You can get done earlier. You know, the funny thing is that those basketball players that he just named, I saw them all play. Parker from the San Antonio Spurs.
Yeah, because they were all 2000s.
They're-
Early 2000s, 2010s.
and it makes me feel really old.
But the speeches that they all gave and the speech that Dwayne Wade gave, and I don't, you know, my attention is not very long, but I actually watched the whole thing, how he thanked his dad for tirelessly going out there and always believing in him and getting his left shot as good as his right shot, even when he couldn't. He said because that made him the player that he was. And it was all because the dedication and the push that his dad gave him and believing in him. And I guess his mom had fallen on some hard times, apparently, and getting her back on track. And just his thanks to everyone of what it takes to have mentors, because you can't do any of this alone. Journeys in life are never alone. And
It's funny you mentioned Allen Iverson, which was considered a very scary thug life.
he sat there with him on the stage.
But they really gave Iverson a real bad rep during his NBA career because he was from the streets. Iverson was he hung out with some real scary people, and a lot of people didn't like him simply because of the company he kept. And Iverson was a hell of a ball player, I'm gonna tell you.
So he said that to me. He said, you made braids and, I forgot what he called the wrap, and a bandana cool. You made baggy shorts and the arm sleeve, cool, because it was your dedication. He goes, and even when you didn't play, always so nice with everyone. Not everyone liked you. You kept pushing and you kept going, and you inspired us all to be better players.
You know, it's funny because in major sports, you have to get along with the media, which sometimes is really, really unfair. So there's a writer who doesn't like you for whatever reason, doesn't like your aftershave, doesn't like what color your dress is, doesn't like you, and he puts the word out on you. All of a sudden, they taint you in the business, and you don't get into the hall. And there's a lot of people who should be in the hall. You know, Klecko from the Jets should have been in the hall a long time ago. Now, if you look at his numbers, they'll tell you that isn't true. But he's a lineman back in the day when they didn't have numbers, which is different. It's not a Lawrence Taylor, you know. It's not a Revis Island type of dude.
But they all talked, every single one of them talked about to get where they are, they never got there alone. It was every mentor, every teammate, hundreds of teammates, hundreds of plays, everything that it took to get there. And all the leaders and the coaches that got them to where they are to make them a better person.
That's true. Kobe
It made
Bryant.
me think of Josh because in all the sports, and even this place, this is not a one-person show. And every intern that has come through this studio makes this studio better. Makes you guys all come together to be better.
Part
You
of
want
it,
to sit
too.
down? You're going to stand all day. You're good.
Just
Welcome
grab a
back.
green chair. Grab a green chair.
There's 2 chairs here too.
There's some chairs over there.
We missed you.
How you feeling?
I'm good. I'm just congested still.
She's good. Zari's back. So it was.
The alien.
It was. Yeah, I didn't know what that picture meant. It was like this.
No, I wasn't waiting.
I wasn't sure if it was an up or a no. Like, are you coming or are you not coming? So it was busy, and then I watched Tiger Within, the Ed Asner movie. That I guess was the last film that he actually made. I guess they had him in some other voiceovers and things posthumously, but that he actually made before he passed. Interesting movie. So he's a Holocaust survivor, and this young girl, she runs away from home, and they end up being roommates and being there for each other as like adopted family, and what that looks like, and all the lies she was told about the Holocaust, and how he never said to her, "You're wrong." It was always, like you always say, asking the questions. Well, who told you the Holocaust never existed? Who told you that swastika means what you think it means versus what it is? And always questioning to teach, and watching that whole relationship unfold. And it's actually at the movies of Delray and movies of Lake Worth
It
right
is.
now.
It is. I got to see Oppenheimer this weekend.
And
I got to sit in front of 2 ladies that were born in 1925,
wow.
and they were telling me how they lived this movie. It's not the first time they've seen it. I've seen it a couple of times. I says, "You've sat 3 hours in a movie more than once." And they said, "Yes." And she started to explain to me how life was in 1935, 1930. You know, not for nothing, but there's a lot of what ifs. If the Nazis had gotten the A-bomb before us, do you think that right now this would be the way it is now? Would this world be, would you be sitting in this kind of world if the Nazis had taken over the A-bomb before us?
No, because they lost everything when they attacked Russia in the Cold. So, I mean, even if they had it or not,
They would've used it.
probably went over to the Soviet Union.
But they would have used it. If they had the A-bomb, they had a big head start, a 2-year head start on us.
Did you realize that part of the push in the United States, the Jewish scientists, was because they were fighting anti-Semitism, that they wanted it before the Nazis could have it? Did you realize that in history? I did not until I saw the movie.
Well, I would think that you would. I never understood the entire complexities of the A-bomb and the players and the people and the reasons and the politics and the behind the politics. I didn't understand how the word communism was so debated because it went back and forth. The people that created it believed in the theory of communism, not in that day's communism. There were 2 sides to that story. But I sit back and I say, if the Nazis or Mussolini or any of those people from Japan had gotten the bomb first, this would not be here. You would not be here. you definitely would not be here. I wouldn't be here either.
That was the push for all these Jewish scientists, which is why I found it interesting they built a church instead of a synagogue, because they were predominantly all Jewish that were there.
They were all. But the problem here is they were trying to protect their rights. I got to tell you, the one message I got out of that whole thing, and I think Albert Einstein said it best when they met at the lake, and he told him, be prepared to be dismantled when you do this, because your country is going to turn their back. He knew already, and it was the reason he didn't get involved. He says, walk away. And he says, I can never walk away from my country. But the one thing that I do know is that the worst weapon man has ever created is man. We are the worst.
How we treat each other?
Everything about us, good, bad, or indifferent. We take a weapon of mass destruction to teach people a lesson of fear. That is just, I don't even have the words.
Well, look what just happened in Hawaii.
But those are just reminders that, you're not bigger than the game. I always said that. Don't be bigger than the game. But when you have a weapon of mass destruction that could, and only 220,000 lives were lost during those two bombs, is what they said.
Yeah, instantly it was 60,000, 80,000, and then afterwards the radiation still had an effect with a lot of people.
But is that number even accurate, 220,000? Is that a good number?
220, that sounds about right.
And now they're saying they realized that the radiation from that test went further than they thought.
Yeah.
Now they're coming out with it. Well, of course it did, because nobody knew. I mean, they were physically holding this. The fact that he did not have radiation cancer, well, maybe it was. His cancer was from smoking that killed him, but maybe it was something else.
It was probably from
I mean, here they are putting this together with their bare hands, but nobody knew.
Then why do it? The funniest thing is that the theory, the mathematics said that we would destroy the earth by burning it up. Remember? It was the bomb.
Well, they didn't know how far it was going to go out.
That's right, but why do it then? I mean, think about that for 1 second. If I had a phone that if it exploded, there's a chance it would burn the entire world. Do you continue to make that weapon?
Well, you asked that question.
Right after the war, we became a superpower. After that, it was just America and Soviet Union. That was it.
All we did was escalate our stupidity to a higher degree.
Yeah, but if
Not at
he
the time.
hadn't done it, someone else would have done it. And then
I understand that. It's called détente. I get it. I went to NYU. That was my field of study. The funny thing is, we should never have created it. We should never have had. Albert Einstein said it the best. There's so much power involved in it that it's going to corrupt man.
But we sat here, and I don't remember who you asked that was sitting there. If given the opportunity, would you do it before another country got it? And you went around this whole room and you
remember.
asked everybody, because you hadn't seen the movie yet.
Would you do it?
Has your perspective now changed that you saw the movie? I think it has.
It has. Sometimes you sit back and you say, man is just against man. We can't get the color of skin straight. We can't get philosophy straight. We can't live with one another straight. It's always a hidden agenda. And given a massive, because that bomb is nothing compared to today. That's a fringe of what we can do today. Because then the H-bomb and everything else that came about. Now they're talking about using an H-bomb because it won't destroy any of the infrastructure.
Here's what I've decided. The news is too bad.
This is crazy.
Do you know you can turn on anything and hear nothing good? If you turn on the news, you got nothing good that's on.
But you know something? We got to listen to the bad.
And appreciate the good?
Because you can't trust anybody.
So here's what I was reading today, because I wish Chelsea were here for Gen Z. Apparently LOL does not exist anymore.
What are you talking about?
Now it's IJBOL.
What?
I read this whole article, and all I could do was think of you guys and Gen.
IJBOL?
100%.
That's a thing.
It's not a thing, so I think we need to write that. We need to do
What
a
is
whole.
IJBOL?
I have no idea.
What does that
I
mean?
just burst out laughing.
Who says
I have never seen anyone
It
use
was
that
this whole article I read in People this morning. And I just had to tell you guys that they're saying LOL is dead. It's now IJBOL.
No, it's
IJBOL.
No, it's not.
So I think we should do, what is it called, at the end where you're actually rebutting something in
gonna
a
remember all
newsletter?
those letters?
You will never remember it.
Oh,
That's not a thing.
No.
Sorry, People Magazine. Our crew says otherwise.
people. That's like AOL doesn't exist anymore, and that isn't true either. It does. There's still AOL accounts. You know what AOL is?
Yeah, because of their
America
JC.
Online? Huh?
JC uses it.
My dad uses it too.
AOL.
He goes, my AOL is hacked again. Here's my new email. Like, okay.
You remember AOL? Oh, you guys are too young.
You got mail?
You got mail.
The dial-up? Sorry, I had to change the conversation. We're going down a way too dark a path
And you
on a
go
Monday
to, and
morning.
you go to something
I
that
had to
doesn't
go all
exist.
the way in the other way because it was going in a bad place on a Monday morning.
Wow.
We're going to take a commercial break. Yeah, you can wait.
I was gonna say I did a lot of things while I was sick.
What'd
you do?
I finished the Lord of the Rings trilogy. That was my first time watching it. It was actually pretty damn good. I finished Jujutsu Kaisen, which is the cartoon show I watch. And then I finally got into music making, like actually music making. I recorded my first time making instruments in the software and then putting on top of it my guitar and bass guitar.
How'd it come out?
Not bad. I mean, I can play it a little bit, but it's not bad, actually.
JC's gonna give you one of her tracks so you can put music to it.
Yeah, that's fine by me.
Let's fool around with it a little bit. See what
Sometimes
we-
I think God says you all need to just stop working so hard and regroup. And when you don't regroup, He sends you another sign. Like, you got sick. Well, you're going to regroup. Then you got sick. Well, you're going to really regroup. Then everyone is out. It's like, all right, now I've sent enough messages. At some point, you all need to rest and regroup and figure this out.
Well, some of us actually admit that we're sick.
And I knew I was sick. But what was I going to do about it?
I
We
don't
left.
know. You,
What was I going to do about it?
you Tarzan, me Jane. I mean, I don't know what to tell you.
I was not as sick as you. Or you.
Yes.
So I was on a sliding scale of
You would
who was
never
sick.
admit it.
But Zach was sick and he tested negative. He just had some sort of,
But you would never admit.
that I felt sick. I felt really
I
lousy.
remember the first time we went through this song and dance.
It was
you
the
didn't
same
admit
thing.
that either.
Nope. You got to do what you got to do. Anyway, I'm glad to have everybody back. We're going to take a commercial break. More to come. 888-994-4995, Studio B. Give us a call on this Monday morning, and we'll be right back.
Everybody wants cheap airfare, but where do you find it? You call Low Cost Airlines. They specialize in cheap flights, discount hotel rooms, cheap car rental rates, and with a best price guarantee. If you want the lowest prices on your airline tickets or other travel services, call now. That's right, call. That's the only way to get these rates. Experts are standing by 24/7 to get you the cheapest airfare and hotel rates available. So don't wait. Call now.
The easiest way to sell your home is to call the number on your screen right now. We'll buy any home in any condition. And the more it's worth, the more you can get. Plus, no real estate fees or commissions means more money in your pocket. And no fix-up costs either. Sell any home in any condition, sometimes within days. Sell your home fast. Call right now for absolutely free information. Don't call a plumber. Don't call an electrician. Call right now and for as low as $1 a day. Many things that run your house are covered with thousands of technicians all over America. You can call us with a plumbing problem, an electrical problem, and we'll be in your home in no time at all with a solution to fix it. You don't need an expensive repair bill and you don't need to buy new expensive appliances. We'll show you how to fix it for about $1 a day.
If you've been injured in an accident that's not your fault and you don't have an attorney, listen up. We have legal professionals standing by to answer your questions and tell you what your case is potentially worth. Hi, I'm Gina along with spokesman Rob. So Rob, tell the folks at home who should call right now.
Just like you said, Gina, anyone who's been injured in an accident that was not your fault, you don't have an attorney, give us a call right now. We're going to answer all of your questions and we'll let you know what your case is potentially worth.
Thanks, Rob. You heard it, folks at home. Pick up the phone, call now.
If you have diabetes, would you like to eliminate painful finger sticks? Are you injecting insulin multiple times per day? Then you may qualify for a continuous glucose monitor. CGMs monitor blood sugar using a small patch placed on your upper arm or abdomen, and they use your smartphone to accurately monitor your blood sugar levels. Stop pricking and start scanning. Plus, CGMs are covered by Medicare and most private insurance plans. They can be shipped free of charge to your door. Call today to see if you qualify.
Give me the mozzarella. 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 Give me the mozzarella.
Pizza Rica, Tasty Richard Pizza at 2001 Northwest Boca Raton Boulevard or contact 561-826-8663.
Give me the mozzarella. Give me the mozzarella. Give me the mozzarella. Give me the mozzarella.
You've been watching the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
And we're back. All right, anything special happened this weekend? Or what are you laughing at?
What concert are you going to?
You laughing at a video?
Yeah.
What's the video about?
No, it's just basically somebody got their hair braided and
So you going back?
Braid?
it was bad.
You going back to school next week?
Yeah, I started my book.
Where you going?
Lynn.
Like school?
Lynn?
Yeah, Lynn.
What are you going to study?
Visual effects animation. Next.
Is that what yours is, Josh, too?
No.
What is yours?
I didn't want to do that at all.
Visual effects and anime. You draw? You do?
This is your second year,
I
right?
actually like the visual effects part than the animation part.
But don't you have to be able to animate to do that? Or are there computers now that do that?
It's the computers. It's computer graphics.
Do you do that?
You do?
I just did a small project and it's pretty fun. I've seen it.
So the question is, why doesn't she do it for us?
I have no
Is really the
idea.
question.
What happened? What did we miss a memo? Did you know this?
Yeah.
Of course you did. It's like the biggest secret in the place is that she does.
All right, so we're going to
graphic
add some of
animation.
your visual effects animation to some of our pieces.
So wait a minute, you have a computer,
I mean, I have to get a new one, but yeah.
but you have one, and you do computer animation on it.
Well, on their computer, yeah.
On whose computer?
The schools. Because I don't have the software for it.
School
Did you know that?
No.
Let me ask you, do you do computer animation? Because God only knows what anybody does in this place.
Definitely not.
No?
Not an artistic bone in my body.
But she does the writing, so you're going to be working on our next newsletter that's going to be going out.
Yeah.
Because we're middle of August already.
Don't remind me.
Hard to believe that is. Labor Day's around the corner. You know what that means? No more white shoes for me.
Wow.
I know.
That's a big deal.
I think it's just the day after you can't wear white.
What's going to happen? The white shoe police is going to come and give you a ticket? What difference does it make?
So I'm trying to wear all my white now because theoretically after Labor Day you're not supposed to. But
Right.
in Florida I don't
That's
think it
old
counts.
school.
Totally old school.
Didn't you hear the latest? LOL doesn't exist.
I like when she says only the day after Labor Day you can't wear white. No, they meant from the day after until Memorial Day.
That's great.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is that a woman thing or a people thing?
It's supposed to be a people thing, but I don't
You
think
don't
it really.
wear white after
I don't think it
Memorial?
applies to Florida.
You guys never heard of that, right? That used to be a thing in the day.
It doesn't apply to Florida though, because Florida
Sorry.
Florida is its own entity on when it comes to clothing and styles. You okay?
No, mine was
I
my
think you
favorite.
hurt the table. That hurt. I gotta tell you, that had to really hurt.
So it isn't shoes, it's clothing, right?
It's everything
pants,
white.
shoes.
But can you
Does
even believe?
underwear count? Are you allowed to wear like white skivvies?
I don't know. It's like a TMI.
You know skivvies, aren't?
Yeah.
You know what a skivvy is? Why are you laughing?
She's always laughing.
She says, I only own White Skivvies.
And I think this is Rachel's last week also.
Yeah, she leaves Wednesday. We're supposed to have a goodbye party.
Wednesday's her last day. If she
Everybody's
shows up.
Goodbye.
If she shows up
She probably
Wednesday,
won't show up.
she probably won't be here. It's her last day.
She probably won't be here.
But it's hard to believe summer's come and gone, and summer crew that went away, they're coming back. You have Corey coming back, and I think Casey coming back. Corey, we've missed you.
He was in Chicago this time. He's your boy? Oh, that's right. You used to hang out with him all the time.
Yes, sir.
She's excited. Look at her.
Corey, unbelievable guy. Another brainiac. Imagine him and
Oh my
Oppenheimer
gosh.
over
And
here.
Zach? Zach, how are you doing? How was your weekend? We forget this board doesn't run itself back there.
I was sick, but I made the best of it.
I like your haircut. What made you go military?
It was free.
Free is good?
Yeah.
But you walk into the army base and they
No,
gave you-
my dad cut it. So
Was he in the military?
No, he just knew how to cut hair, I guess. He just knows how to do buzz cuts, so that's what I got.
I kind of like that. I may do that. I don't have any hair, but I can buzz it.
Yeah.
What are you laughing at? What are you laughing at, brave woman?
So you recovered, but you're better.
Yeah, it was like a weird, like, I didn't have COVID or anything, but I was just like really achy and like bedridden, where like I just couldn't like get out of my bed or leave my room without like feeling.
You had the flu.
Yeah, I didn't have a fever though either, so I don't know.
You know,
what
that's
might cause
funny.
it.
I didn't have a fever at all. Did you have a fever? You did? I didn't have no fever.
Don't look at me. I do not know.
I didn't have any fever.
That's good. Did you have a fever?
Yeah.
I remember you were telling us. Did it break?
The
Did
night
it break?
I got sick when I took the blanket, I had 102.
I didn't have no fever
And
whatsoever.
we wonder how it went through here so fast. Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
And I was sitting at 100 for like the next 3 days. When I told you that my fever broke, I went down to 99.
You know, if you take a cold shower, it breaks your fever.
Yeah, for like 2 seconds.
Or you go through menopause and it breaks it just like that.
Oh, she's a little
So
young for
apparently this is the new hot topic people can now talk about.
Another one?
Menopause.
I'm
So
sorry.
all those that study they came out with all these years ago telling women not to go on hormone replacement therapy because it might potentially cause cancer, and women over 60, they neglected to tell anyone about women who go through menopause in their 40s. So between 40 and 60,
You suffer.
you suffer. But guess who came up with all the reasons that we shouldn't tell women to do these
Men.
things? Men. So now everyone's pretty much up in arms that all this study was totally misconstrued, misinformation was given. Women from a whole generation suffered for all these years, so now all the women are going back and saying, you know what? Now it's time, ladies, to talk about it because you shouldn't have to suffer.
So it's time now to talk about it.
Yes.
Now you're going to talk about it.
Well, my generation can now talk about it
When I
because our
grew up,
mother's generation.
That's all we talked about.
Menopause?
Yeah. Do you know who suffers more than any person in the planet?
Mm.
Men. We suffer. It's called revenge. Because my goodness, he
Revenge.
put us through. I remember my sister telling me, I want you to go over there, and then I want you to go over there. And I said at the same time, she says, yes. Here's the keys to the van, and get both things changed of oil. I go, at the same time, yes.
So now women are coming out, they're talking about different treatments, different things to do, but everyone's pretty up in arms that all this misinformation from the study came out and everyone believed it, and women, a whole generation of women suffered because they were told it could potentially be, and now they're saying, no, not so much, things have changed.
Well, they said to eat a lot of sugar too. I remember that.
Who said that?
Back in the 70s, the Sugar Association of America says you want to cure all diseases,
Oh, yeah.
eat sugar.
Look who it came from.
Exactly.
Men.
No,
The sugar farmers. Oh, absolutely. This is huge out in West like
Now they say
Belglade,
that
Okeechobee.
those packets, like the yellow, the blue, trivia, everything kills you one way or the other. Bad heart, bad brain, bad this, bad that. It doesn't matter.
So
Water.
just have regular sugar.
Too much water will kill you.
Well, yeah, but that's like a specific amount that you physically.
A dump truck. You have to swallow a dump truck for it to kill you. If I swallow a dump truck, it's going to kill me anyway, no matter what's in it.
I know. It's like there's just no. It's because I think they've run out of content of what to put on TV, so they just got to come up with things to scare
Is
you.
that what this is? This is TV-laced information.
Pretty much.
LOL is no longer a thing.
No, it's IJBOL. We're going to do a whole commentary on how that's not even true.
What is the one thing that you guys do in your generation that you truly believe in? What is it? Hamburger's good for you. What is it? Chicken is good for you. What's
really
that
wanna go
one
there?
thing? Yeah, I do. Then it can be anything. It doesn't matter. What's the one thing that you guys are raised on believing that's the way it should be and that's the way it's going to be?
We can all be connected together by technology.
You think the phone is a good thing or a bad thing?
I didn't say it was a good thing, but I'm just saying we can all stay connected. Not just where technology is deployed in America, Europe, and all these big known places, but they can be distributed throughout the whole entire world and be used for the means of communicating and connecting with one another.
So this is the new form of communication?
Yeah.
Okay. Believe that?
I mean, yeah. Social media, regular phone calls, you can connect it halfway across the world.
So would you give a 5-year-old a phone?
No, because their brain is going to get all messed up.
Whoa. Wait.
That's not what I'm saying, though.
Well, hold on.
You
because
can until at least they're like, I don't know, 13 or something where they have some common sense.
So you have to have common sense to use a phone.
Well, that kind of feels unfair because a lot of people don't have common sense.
So far, we've run into a wall.
No, we're using technology wrong, definitely.
So do you
But-
trust people with a phone?
The phone's just a phone.
I mean, people
It can
could
brainwash
misuse a
us
banana
easily.
if they
It's in
wanted
the
to.
same argument if I give you a gun and a bullet and you trust people with a gun and a bullet. Isn't it the same difference?
Not
In other words, think about what I'm asking you. Technology has to have the standard test that we can all use it. If it's a phone, okay. If it's a packet of sugar, I mean, back in the day, you used to give children sugar to eat. The cereals you guys love, full of sugars. I still remember the Flintstones or Count Dracula and giving me cereal and putting it in my mouth. I used to scream at my mother, I need to have that, Mom. Meanwhile, I'm high on sugar.
The whole hand gesture thing.
It's true. Come here. But what I'm saying is if...
You never know
what
when
I'm
it comes
saying
in
is,
handy.
Nobody ever asked me back in the day what was good or bad, and that's what I'm saying now. So you're right. This is a communication box, right? But can we trust a 5-year-old? Common sense. Good point. A lot of people, I know people that are 50, they don't have no common sense. How do you turn on the microwave? Hit the power button, dummy. You ever seen that? Come on. You've seen that.
I'm not going to give a 5-year-old a phone, but I may give him like a leapfrog iPad kind of thing where he can learn basic mathematician, basic reading and stuff like that, but that's still technology.
I'm glad you said that. My 4-year-old grandson, if he don't have his iPad thing to play in the car these games, he has a fit.
Do they all have one?
I don't know. I know about Joey because his father's Mr. Computer. And I said to Gio, and I got to watch my mouth, I said, I disagree. Let him go to a book and learn how to do stuff. Dad, he's not going to go to a book. Why? You did? No, I didn't. I snuck on your computer, which is true. At night, he snuck on my computer. But is it good to give a 4-year-old that kind of leapfrog
You ever
thing?
wonder how Gio is such a genius?
No, I don't want to wonder.
Do you ever wonder where he came from?
Me. Morning.
Good morning.
It's all my DNA.
It's all you.
All me.
Yeah.
Michelle will tell you different.
Yeah.
But I mean, think about it. Do you give somebody 4-year-old? Then I went to McDonald's yesterday. Don't ask. I went to McDonald's, had breakfast, and I saw a guy wanting to order on his phone, the app. You ever seen the McDonald's app? Okay. And you know, you can order, and then they give you a number, you pick up your order, right? So this 6-year-old kid said, Dad, let me show you how you do. And voila, the food showed up. And you should have seen him doing the dance when he got his blue shake, right? So if it wasn't for him, the father probably started that because he's in McDonald's. He refuses to go to the counter.
There's got to be something better in this
doesn't
world than,
speak English,
than this.
because he doesn't speak English.
Who, the dad?
He was in French. He was French. So he ordered on McDonald's is in French, and he ordered the food. You know how I know that? Because he said, number 289, 289, 280 in a French accent. That's all he knew was the number 289.
Good morning.
So what is it that we can share today? Maybe the movies? Socialization?
Kennedy, can I swap your seat over there?
What is it that we can say honestly that no matter what we do, we can trust it? All age groups, everything. Maybe art. What about art?
No, because all that stuff is dying.
But that's the problem. That's my point. The art is dying. We're killing off the things that we can all actually do
And enjoy
and enjoy.
the art of touch and creation. I don't mean touch, but painting and drawing and sculpture and music. I'm glad you're making music. But was it all through tracks, or did you actually play music?
I played music.
Okay.
It was I have this new keyboard called a MIDI keyboard, MIDI keyboard, and it looks like a basic piano, but it has all these extra knobs as well too. And whatever instrument I set up in the software, I'll play along with it. So it has different sounds, different drums, different tracks that I can play along with. But I also added on top my guitar playing and bass guitar playing as well too. So
how does the track sort of melt into the right sound?
You start out with a basic drum beat. Well, that's kind of what I started. Yeah, basic drum beat, and then I had this loop that goes on. And then on top of that, I added a different melody with the guitar, like a little solo in it. So it was kind of cool.
See, I think music, I gotta tell you, what's the name of the guy that does the talk show? Jay Farrell? What's his name?
Jimmy Fallon.
Jimmy Fallon. Fallon? Fallon, okay. So Jimmy Fallon does this thing with famous singers, like Madonna's done it, famous singers, right? And they take children's toys. Have you ever seen this?
Jack Black did it.
What's it called?
Jack Black did it.
Jack Black did it, but they do this thing with the toys. So when I was growing up, and I was 11 years old, my brother, may he rest in peace, had me, Juji, Lewis, my sister, Titi was there. There was like 6 of us. And he gave all of us a toy. Like that little fake toy xylophone thing, that stuff. Remember the phone that had the eyes, and you used to push it along and it made a noise? Wah, 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 wah. You remember that? So he used to make you play that. And he had all these kids' toys, and he played the piano, which I guess he shouldn't have done, but I guess he was afraid to have too many kids on. And he used to sing, and it was on a reel-to-reel. I wish I knew where that was. I would love to do something with kid toys. So everybody in here gets a kid toy, and you play a beat. Ding, 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 ding. That's all you gotta do. It's exactly what you're doing with this thing box, right? Wouldn't that be so cool? Is to go back in time using kids' toys, and this is what Jimmy does, man. It is the best. You ever seen it?
No, but you've seen it, though, Zari. Or you said Jack Black does it?
Yeah, I saw like the one clip of Jack Black doing it.
Yeah, he has this famous sax solo, but the saxophone that he uses is a kid's toy sax. So you press this button and it has these weird sounds, and you know.
I think it'd be so cool. You remember growing up, they had the flute. You had a white and purple flute. Remember that? And you had
It's
the
like
flute
a
class.
kazoo?
No.
No, it was
Yeah.
a flute.
The record player? No, yeah, a recorder.
Well, it was a flute.
No, it was
You went to
a
class,
recorder.
and they taught you how to play the flute in school. Remember that?
The recorder, yes.
It's a little different from flute. Less complicated.
The plastic recorder, you put your thumb on the hole in the bottom.
Yes, that's called what?
A recorder.
Oh my God! Oh my life! I thought it was the flute.
The flute
yeah, you
goes
put
this
your
way.
your finger on the
The
bottom
flute goes
of it.
this way. The recorder goes this way.
Yeah.
Have you heard, do you know who Jethro Tull is?
No.
Yes. Yes, you do.
You do.
Yeah. Okay.
Jethro Tull?
He's the
Your
one-
brother
he-
probably loved them.
He plays the flute.
This way.
Yeah, like that.
Okay, but what's that thing called this way?
A recorder.
Clarinet, recorder.
A recorder.
Yeah.
It was purple and white. You guys ever play that in school?
They have different color ones.
Mine's just purple and white.
Imagine now with
Tell 'em,
COVID,
Zari.
what they do in music class. You probably can't do that at all now.
Did you guys play it?
In my elementary school, it was kind of like odd.
You didn't play
I
it?
don't remember playing a recorder, but I remember there was like a bunch of instruments that we were allowed to touch sometimes.
They had handbells, and I didn't get accepted into the handbell group. I was offended.
But you weren't good enough
I
for
don't
the
know.
handbells?
I was offended at the time.
What group did you get into?
Chorus. Yeah.
Sing?
Yeah, tell me how. Hey.
Yeah, people don't realize
I-
it leaves a lasting impact on
I
kids.
wanted to play the sax, and they didn't let me. Yeah, that's it. That's it. I had one of those.
The recorder.
Yeah. I did not get to play the sax because I had braces. So they put me on the cello. I said, what? First they put me on the violin. And I says, and I was a football player for the elementary school, and I was a quarterback. I says, football player don't play the cello. He says, yes, you do.
Wow, look at you. Well-rounded you were in school.
I'm well-rounded. I
Football
wanted to
player,
play
the
sax.
cello.
I wanted to play the sax, man. Play the cello.
All right, what's happening in sports before we wrap up our Monday morning?
Preseason started this past weekend, the first week of it. Everyone looked pretty decent. There was no bad teams really this past week, except for the Panthers, I guess. But yeah, everyone looked decent.
Well, they got a rookie playing.
No, the offensive lineman is completely terrible, and I feel bad for the rookie quarterback because he's tiny.
He's 5'10".
He's like 5'11".
206 pounds.
He's very scrawny, and if he gets hit by some of these defensive ends, he's gonna go down bad.
They don't think he's going to make the season.
You bring in Bird Talk back?
Yeah, I'll bring it back for this.
Did you see that the Rams only plays rookies? They don't play any vets at all.
Didn't Miami do the same thing?
The 49ers now are only playing rookies. But normally you would spring, at least a couple of offensive linemen.
Patrick Mahomes, he played this past weekend.
Two downs.
Well, just one drive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I saw the Kansas City game, and typical Kansas City, they were leading, and they came back from 17-0, and they were leading, and then they lost at the end.
How are your Mets doing?
They're horrible.
How are your Jets?
Jets look decent. I don't think the Jets are going to win the Super Bowl like everybody's saying, but they look decent. They may win 4 games this year. Sorry to say, man, I don't see. When you open your mouth like the Mets did, you're going to get punched in the face. And if you can't get up from getting punched in the face, you're going to look like the Mets. So if you're a Jet fan, do me a favor, watch the Met game. Because they had $500 million invested in that team. Now all of a sudden you see all the yang coming out that some of the players were prima donnas, some of the players have attitude. All of a sudden when things go bad, all the truths come out.
Everyone's just be nicer to each other is all I got to say. Because, right, you go through life, next thing you know, it's summer, it's football season again, people get sick, life goes on, people pass. You really just be nicer to each other.
We all just live in a big circle.
Right? It's just this whole circle of life that there's got to find some enjoyment in it and not just sadness and hate and negativity.
Just shut your mouth. Go this. Try to do this. It's funny because the coach from the Jets did not want to be on Hard Knocks, which is tomorrow night at 10 o'clock. And now I know why. Less is more.
What's Hard Knocks?
On HBO. They have the Jets path to the Super Bowl, which is ridiculous. That last week's was so vanilla because the Jets have cut everything out. Not even cutting a play, and none of that is inclusive. And last week they cut the third stringer, who fractured his finger or something, so he was going to be gone anyway. But it changes the conception of the show. Now it's a highlight reel towards players. You know what? Less is more, man. Yeah, if you're going to win this thing, shut up about it. If you're going to be good, be good.
If you had an extra $1 million to donate someplace to a charity, would you do it anonymously or would you put your name on it?
Does it make a difference how I donate it to make sure it goes to where I want it?
No. You pick the charity. Is it going to be whatever it is? Here's $1 million going to the charity of your choice. Is it from Freddie Santori? Is it anonymous?
I don't care.
Does it make a difference?
Not to me.
Does it make a difference to any of you guys?
I don't like to people say my name. He did it. Like sometimes it's okay, but most of the time, if I do something like really well and they know that she did it, I don't like to do that because maybe like some people can say it's good, some people can say she has more money. Like I don't.
If you were to hit the lotto for $250 billion, the last one, would you take $100 million and give it to charity? Do you care if they use your name?
I will give the charity, but it won't like one charity, I will
Give it to many.
give it to many. Yeah.
It's funny because I had a dream that I went to a hospital and I sat with the kids that were sick and I asked them, who do you want to give the money to in your name? So I guess the answer to that question is I really don't care.
There you go. Ready to wrap this up?
You should see over the weekend that company that went to the UK and they had some ambulances that were blown up from the Ukrainian war and they redid them. They got donations and they rebuilt it. They filled it with all sorts of medical supplies and the 2 ambulances went to the front lines of the stupidest war in the history of mankind to give it to the soldiers, and they left it there. And they took another vehicle back. I mean, they just see this whole thing happening in front of people, and I don't get it. You know, someday somebody will have to sit down and explain it to me.
Well, if you watch Tiger Within, the girl says to Ed Asner, and how many wars are there? And he says, well, some people say there were 50,000 wars, some people say 200,000 wars, some people say 10 wars. It all depends on who you're asking, what history books you're reading. Does it really matter what the number is?
True
because one is one war too many.
Too many.
So it's an interesting movie. He reminded me a lot of you.
Ed Asner?
The way he always asks the questions. Great actor, right?
It's funny, as you guys get older, you're going to discover the power of asking. That's a good one.
All right, let's wrap this up. Have a great morning, everyone. Tune into our midday show. I think we've got a new credit card, debit card coming to you with a lot of benefits. And who else is coming in? We'll find out. Sally will be here. Call me Zena, and our brew crew on the set. I'll see you in a little bit.
Don't be late.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to the Brooklyn Cafe Morning Show. My mug is empty, and you know what that means.
I think it means it's time for a coffee refill.
As we prepare for other shows here at the Amp Media Production Studios.
Tune in for more fun and laughs at 12 o'clock for our afternoon show.
And remember to like, follow, and subscribe on our page.
Have a great morning, everyone. Stay safe and be kind to each other.
And don't be late.